All right. Well, I'm going to show you what it takes to remove the throttle tensioner on an 8-horse Honda. It's a 2005 model. This piece right here will not keep the throttle from rolling back when I try to find my sweet spot on trolling speed. So I'm going to take this apart and change out the pieces that are in here. And to do so, uh, there's a nut at the end. That's a 10 millimeter. I'm going to unscrew that eventually. But one of the things I discovered that'll be a big help to most everybody watching is that the grip is next to impossible to remove. I've already taken this off and removed the whole throttle assembly and used a heat gun to try to soften the grip and get it pliable so I could take it off, and that just didn't work. So I ordered the parts that I needed, and then when I went and picked them up, I asked the Honda guy about it, and he kind of looked at me sheepishly, and he says, yeah, he says, there's really no way. He says, just go ahead and slice it off with a utility knife. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to do that, and then once I get that off, then I'll turn my attention to this bolt up here. We'll unscrew that and take it loose. Okay, so I got the utility knife. I'm going to try to do this with one hand. How many times have you ever heard that on YouTube? And one thing I want to point out is you want to keep track of, there's a little arrow right here that is pointing to your designation of your throttle control. And so before I remove this completely, I'm going to put a mark on the interior piece and try to get that lined up so that it gets back in about the right position. So here goes nothing. Oop, there's, get it on a firm setting. And getting there, just like that. And believe me, this grip costs about $10 or $11, and trying to get it off before this, I probably spent about $50 or $60 worth of effort and time. So do yourself a favor, and if you want to give it a try, give it a try. But when you're buying the parts, just go ahead and order up a new grip while you're at it. Okay, next I'll be taking this apart, and we'll get the bolt out and slide that all off. Alright, so first I'm going to mark it with the little chalk right here on the tensioner, and then I'm going to remove the grip, and then on the throttle assembly itself I'll make a little mark, and that should be close enough. Okay, so then the next thing we do is just pop that right off. You can see this is the pin that holds the lines up through there. So I'm going to start disassembling that at the bench. I'll do it right here, and we'll change out those pieces. Okay, so all you do is unscrew this, and it should get free. And these are the grooves here that we're not catching. I don't know if we'll be able to see. You can see the plastic in there. Plastic threads are pretty worn, especially down in here at this end of it. So that's part of that's the parts I'm going to replace that, and then There's another piece. This piece here, I got a replacement for that. So I'm going to pause this, go grab the new pieces, and be right back. Okay, so this piece and this piece come as one package, and this is the number if you want to Google it yourself and try to get it online. So we'll open that up. And then this piece right here is this piece right here. So you can Google that maybe and order it online if you need to. And then the grip is that part number. So we're going to move on to opening the packages, and we'll start putting things together. Okay, I want to point out this piece here has like two different sides. So that's like a recessed side, and there's no recess on this side. And if you look, the recessed side is on what I guess I would call the bottom, and the not recessed is up towards the top. So I'm going to change that out, take that off, and swap those out. Okay, we're almost there. And the next thing is to take this guy apart. Slide this over the top, like so. And then this piece is going to go inside there. And I'll try to get that in the view here in a second. Okay, real quick, I want to point out also that this groove here, there's two grooves on either side of it. They align with the pins on this guy, so that when this comes down, this will slide over. There we go. Like so. And they lock. So it's not a bad idea to do a little pre-assembly here and get a feel for how it's going to go together for yourself. But anyway, so that's pretty much how that's going to go. And I'm going to reach up and drop this over. Start screwing it on there. Should catch in a moment. Sorry for the sniffling. It's kind of cold out here in the garage. It's like 38 degrees. So that's that. And as you can see, as you tighten this, this freezes up. So that's all free. And I managed to cover up the white mark. So let me see if I can expose that. So figure out where that went. I'm going to say no, I'm not going to be able to figure out where that went. So I'm going to start over on that part and remark that, and then come back to you. Haha, okay, so I've marked it again. Let's see if I can keep from wiping that out. That's the old one. There's the new one. Drop the new one down. It just floats free. This piece lines up on those. Grooves. And these, so there's a keyway in here. So your keyway has got to line up with these detents. There, now it goes right in. So again, if you do a little pre-assembly before you're ready to put it all in, hopefully I didn't make that too blurry. So here's the piece I'm going to slide on there. I'm going to tighten that up. Keep an eye on that white mark. And we'll see how this goes. Okay, I'm back. Realized I missed a little detail. There are these little keyways, and they line up with these keyways on this piece. So what I determined after a little struggle was that we need to put this on first, get that seated. You see how that, if you don't get it in the right position, it's not going to want to go down. We need that to come all the way down to here. So rotate it around till you find the right position. So that's there. And then we take the throttle handle and we get that on there and get that lined up as best we can. And we got to get this guy on there. And the white line is sort of in line with that. So we are near the end. The next thing we do is take this piece, drop it over. It spins pretty easily. Get snug. And there you go. And then you tighten it, and you can loosen it, and the throttle will move. It moves up and down because I don't have the nut on there. Let's get that going so that you can see how that works. Okay. As you can tell, I'm going to put the grip on last. It's going into looks like a brass piece, so you don't want to really over tighten it. Just kind of, you can feel some flex because it's pulling on the throttle cable. Just snug that up, snug, and then we can turn the throttle. And you see it holds. If we loosen that up, it drops away. Again, let's see if I get the better picture here. So we tighten this up, it holds. Loosen this up, and this drops away. And that's it. I am not a professional photographer, so I apologize for all the out of focus shots and flubs, but I think if I had seen a video like this, it would have given me more confidence to get started in doing what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll do that for you. So good luck, and safe wrenching. So last thing we need to do is put the handle on, or the grip on, and as difficult as it was coming off, I thought what I'd do is put a little dishwashing soap on the rises here, kind of slick it up a little bit, and then additionally I put it in soaking in boiling water so that it will soften that up. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off of that, but I'll fish that out of there in a moment. In the meantime, I'm going to drizzle a little soap in a rag. And use that to kind of line this. So hopefully that's going to make it real simple. So I'll fish the grip out. Grab it before it sinks. Look for the arrow. There's the arrow. Ooh, it's hot coming out of there. I'll line that arrow up with the arrow. Line it up with there. I'm going to push down on this, and hopefully it'll look like I know what I'm doing. And that is it. It is on there. It is solid. And I have to say I'm a little surprised myself. It went on a lot easier than I thought. So that's the real trick. Get yourself some boiling water. If you have a travel mug like this, something big enough to soak the whole thing in for like less than 5 minutes. Didn't take hardly any time at all. Get a little detergent on there, and bam, it's on. So all that's left is to put this nut on there, and we'll I forgot I put the nut on already. So it's all set. We're all done. And that is a wrap.